Public service announcement, PSA submission number 3 coming now. There's a card in this order you're not going to want to miss. Let's go. What's going on YouTube? Flipping Out SC coming at you with another new video. And in today's video, we're going over my third and last PSA sub for a while. With my wedding having just passed, I haven't had the funds to be able to submit since the last submission, but you can bet that we'll be putting together another sub sometime in the coming months for sure. To begin, we sent 44 cards to PSA. The cost of all 44 cards was $934.19. The cost to ship the cards to PSA was $37.96. The grading fees at the $15 per card monthly special price, as this was back in the summertime, and the shipping back to ship my cards was $973.95. And the ship my cards fees to receive the cards, split them up, was $68.20. Finally, the shipping fees for the cards I did sell and to receive the rest of them in hand from ship my cards was $89.73. So in total, I was into the whole order for $2,104.03. With all of that out of the way, let's dive into the cards. We'll start with a few non-hockey cards I sent in. There were only 4, so we'll throw them all up together. First, we had this Steph Curry Winter Stays Hollow that came back at PSA 9. We also had these two 2015 Topps Chrome Refractors, green and diamond, of Aaron Rodgers and Odell Beckham Jr. Odell's cards from this year have one of the most iconic photos from the NFL ever. These two both came back PSA 10s. Then we also have this 2021 Prism Tom Brady Laser Prism that came back a PSA 10 as well. All 4 of these cards have sold. I managed to sell the 2 Topps Chrome on eBay for $67.18 and $83.43, while the Tom Brady and Steph I sold in a lot at the Arizona Card Show for approximately $13.69 and $41.09. I was happy with the prices for the 2 Topps Chromes, but probably could have done better on the other 2. Either way, I plan to stick mainly to hockey from here on out, so I shouldn't have many more NFL or NBA cards on the channel. Definitely a learning experience, and as you'll see, not the only learning experience from this submission. Next, we get into the hockey, and we may as well get the bat out of the way first and move on from there. We'll start with these 3 UD Metal Spectrum EPAC exclusive cards, 2 Zegras and 1 Caulfield. These aren't expensive cards, and like all metal cards, usually have some condition issues, but I really thought I could squeeze out some good grades. Sadly, they came back with 2 9s and an 8. I did manage to somehow sell all 3 of these for $12.86, $13.89, and $13.89. Didn't even manage to get back the grading fees, but oh well. Let's move on. Next, we have this 2022-2023 Upper Deck on display card of Matty Beniers in a PSA 9, and this 2018-19 OBG Platinum Rainbow Color Wheel of Bobby Orr in a PSA 9 as well. I was able to sell both of these for approximately their raw prices of $12 and $16.67 respectively. From ugly in terms of dollars to ugly in terms of cards, we have this 2021-22 Metal Universe Pix Spectrum out of 25 for Quentin Byfield. I mean, I really figured PSA would have a way to properly slab this so it didn't move around like that, but apparently they did not. So even though it came back in 9, the grade may be dropping every time the slab moves. Luckily, I was able to get out of it for almost break even when I sold it for $34.23. We also sent in 4 Young Guns, and this is where the prospecting begins. Not with Dylan Cousins, who we managed to get a 10 on and traded a few months ago in a trade I may document on the channel in the future, but on the other 3. First off, we have this Josh Norris Young Guns canvas we managed to get a 10 on. Josh Norris was my first prospect I ever bought into almost 2 years ago now when I paid $30 a piece on 15 of his Young Guns to create a speckled and upper deck heat pack. Needless to say, that was a $450 investment not well spent. This one is still sitting stale in my inventory just like his speckled. The other 2 Young Guns I sent in were this Matthew Phillips and this Alex Barré-Boulet. Phillips got a 10 and Barré-Boulet a 9. Both of these players had fantastic years last year in the AHL, but I sadly learned this year that AHL play doesn't always translate to the show. I've managed to sell the Barré-Boulet on ComC for $11.52, while Phillips is still in my ComC inventory. But wait, those weren't the only 2 Phillips and Barré-Boulet cards we sent in. We also managed to get our hands on some Future Watch autos for the pair as well, and we sent those 3 in. And they all 10'd. Surely, we should be able to make some money on these guys, right? Well, not entirely. Somehow I got lucky on the Barré-Boulets and sold them both for slight profits at $89.52 and $80.89. However, the Phillips is again sitting stale in my ComC inventory. But what we made on the Barré-Boulets, we decided to throw away on another and get this even worse prospect, Alexander Barabanov. You know, my thinking with this guy was someone on the Sharks had to score, but apparently I was wrong there too. Both of these Barabanovs did manage to sell for losses on ComC at $25.60 a piece. Let's move on to a few more established players. First, we'll start with a few cards I managed to flip. We have this Jack Hughes Allure Sunset Rookie that I was able to get a 10 on. I sold this card on MySlabs for a total after fees of $104.26. Another card I was able to turn a profit on was this 05-06 Victory Sidney Crosby Rookie. It only got a 9, but 9s on these cards still sell pretty well, and I managed to bring in a small profit when I sold it for $83.56. The last card I've sold from this order was a card you've definitely seen before if you've watched my other PSA submission returns, which I'll link above if you haven't. Those two were much better overall in terms of profit than this one. But the card is the 2018-19 UD Canvas of Alex Ovechkin. I actually got 3 back in this order, and all 3 were 10s. I've only sold one so far for $127.51. The other 2, I'm likely to hold on to until I get back to Canada at some point. Sticking with canvas cards, I managed to get back a few more OVs, including this 2011-2012 Ovechkin Canvas, the first year of the canvas cards, and this 22-23 black and white Ovechkin Canvas, both in PSA 10. The only other canvas I got back was this 2018-19 McDavid canvas that also managed to get a PSA 10. And the last card that is non-PC that I got back was this 2020-2021 Metal Universe Spectrum of Ovechkin that also got a PSA 10. I honestly couldn't believe that this one got a 10. I'm very pleased with this as, like I stated earlier, these cards usually have some major condition issues, and therefore, for this one to get a 10 was a miracle. While not a massive card in terms of dollars, it is rare and is a pop 1. So that's it for all the non-PC. Into the PC cards we go. If you didn't already know, I'm a big fan of the EPAC exclusive Speckled Rainbow foil cards. These cards are created on Upper Deck EPAC and can be made by collecting 100 base cards or 10 silver foil cards of an individual player. Once all 100 or 10 cards are collected, you then combine them to make a Speckled Rainbow foil. For those who don't know, 10 base cards make 1 silver foil and 10 silver foil make 1 speckled. So with all that explained, let's get into the results. Let's start with Matthews. I got back Matthews 2017-18, 2019-20, and 2021-22 speckles. The 17-18 got a 9, and the other 2 both gemmed. Still happy with the 9 from 2017-18, as this is his second year card, and they're fairly hard to come by. Condition-wise, 17-18 was also a tough year to gem overall. Next was Ovechkin. I sent in 2 of his 17-18, 1 of his 18-19, a 19-20, and a 20-21. 1 of his 17-18 got a 9, and all of the rest gemmed as well. I was super happy with this result, as like I just said, 2017-18 gemming was really tough, because condition-wise, they're usually not the best. From Ovi, we moved to Crosby. I sent in quite a few Crosby as well. I sent in his 2016-17, 18-19, 19-20, and 2021. The only 2 to get 9s were the 16-17 and the 20-21. All the rest were 10s. And finally, we moved to McDavid. I sent in McDavid's 2018-19, 19-20, and 2021. The 18-19, 20-21 both got 10s, and the 19-20 got a 9. I was really hoping for 10s on all of these, but it is what it is, and hopefully I can find another 2019-2020 to send in next time. And last, but certainly not least, we actually got back one more Crosby. I wanted to save the best for last. One of Crosby's most desired base cards is his 2017-18. Many love this card because he's seen holding the cup in it. However, there weren't any of this card graded before my submission, as, like I stated twice now, the condition of 2017-18 cards was usually quite poor. I didn't expect to get anything over a 9, and really thought this card may come back an 8, but to my great surprise, I got a 10. I honestly couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it. This card is more recently a pop 2, but to have one of the 2 potentially greatest speckled base cards in existence was a huge win. So, overall, even through the really rough start to the submission, it wasn't a total loss by any means. Profit loss wise, I'm down fairly big, but with the value of the cards, I'm not looking to sell. I think overall it was a huge success. Can't be mad with all those speckled foils. But that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this submission and want to see more videos like this, hit this video with a like and consider subscribing. I hope to be posting a bunch more videos soon and would love the support. But until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side. P.S. If you like these speckles yourself and want to learn how to combine them, I've left a video up here. Or if you just want to learn about EPAC in general, I've left a general overview video up here. Enjoy.